Day one of Sweater Weather Readathon! Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the Sweater Weather Readathon! There's no way my energy level is going to remain the same for this whole week, but right now I'm hype. Because we're here. It is finally here. The Sweater Weather Readathon. I've also gotten much better at saying Sweater Weather Readathon. Can you tell? I've been practicing. I haven't been practicing. Look at this awesome sweater. We did merch. In case you missed it, I will link it below if you still want to order one, if you participated, or if you just want to support. They look like this. This is like the black crew neck sweatshirt. There's t-shirts, there's long sleeve shirts, there's even some like kid sizes if you want to do that. We also have like a mug and a tote. No pressure, only if you wanna. Links will be in the description down below. I'm bubbling with energy, can you tell? I also haven't filmed in a minute, so sorry if I'm being awkward, but hi guys, I've missed ya. This week is going to be so much fun and it's gonna be so crazy. I am predicting right now that this vlog is going to be a chaotic mess, so buckle up. Please don't expect anything amazing because I'm hosting a readathon. I'm helping host a readathon. I'm one person out of two other amazing people that are hosting this readathon. I will link them down below as well, Abigail and Liv. And oh my gosh, it's an exciting time. Already this morning, there's like so many people on Instagram that are posting, which is so cool. I want to respond to everybody. I want to like look at everything. I want to share things. But I also have to read and like participate. So there's a lot going on. And I just want to say that as a preface that this may not be my most like aesthetically pleasing vlog because of that. I just don't know how much energy and mental and emotional capacity, creative capacity, I'll have to be like super thoughtful about B-roll and music and transitions and like all of that stuff. I just want to read. I want to vlog my thoughts about reading, and that's really, I think, what this vlog is mainly going to be. I mean, we'll see, but just as a caveat, if you're used to more of like aesthetic vlogs from me, this one may be less that, just to help protect my mental space during this week. So that's where we're at. In order to keep this intro semi-short and concise, why don't I just go into my TBR and share with you guys what I plan on reading this week. Of course, in natural Zoe fashion, I can't not pick a book for every prompt. So I do have a stack of 5 books here, one for each prompt that I did pick and hope to read this week. So the first prompt is to read a book with orange on the cover, and for that I picked Hooky. Look at how cute this is. I mean, adorable. It is a graphic novel. I think it's about like 2 twins, like a brother and a sister. They're kind of on the run. They're magical, witchy siblings, and I'm just very excited to get into this. The next prompt is to read a book in like a different format from one that you're typically used to. I wanted to go with graphic novel, but if I'm being very honest with myself, I read a lot of graphic novels, so that's not really fair, but something I don't read a lot of, and I honestly haven't had a lot of success in enjoying, so I don't know why I picked this, but I went with an anthology, and that is Goblin by Josh Malerman. It's a novel and 6 novellas, so maybe anthology actually isn't the correct term for this book. It's like mini books inside one book. I think that they're all kind of connected. Also, let me just show you this cover. I've been like waving it around. Like how this is the most stunning cover. It's so cool looking. I'm gonna be honest. I don't plan to finish this book. I already know that. I don't plan to finish this book. I mean, if I'm loving it, then that would be great. But my goal is to read 1 or 2 of the novellas. So it's not to finish this whole book. I just want to be super clear because I have 2 other full-length novels and I think I need to like focus on that. But at least read 1 or 2 of the novels, and I feel like that counts. So this is what I picked for that. The next prompt is to read a book with a fall word in the title. And for that, I picked Seance Tea Party. Okay, this is another graphic novel. See, I told you I read a lot of them. I feel like seance is kind of a fall word. I mean, not really, but it evokes kind of like fall witchy vibes for me. So that's what I went with. And yeah, like I said, it's another graphic novel that just looks so much fun. I think I bought this like 2 months ago, and I have been patiently waiting to read this for the readathon. It sounds like it's kind of a coming of age story. I believe it's actually kind of a middle grade story about a girl who is determined to like retain her childhood love of like playing with friends, imagining things, while all of her other friends are kind of growing up and moving on and having other interests. I think also there's like a ghost involved, like she makes friends with the ghost or something like that, but it just sounds really, really cute and I cannot wait to read this. The next prompt is to read a backlist title, and I had a really hard time picking this one because there's so many backlist mystery thrillers that I want to read very badly, but one that I picked up recently just sort of immediately jumped out at me, and so that's what I'm gonna start with, and if I don't like it, I'll maybe move on to something else. I have a feeling I'm gonna enjoy it. That is Night Swim by Megan Golden. I've heard really good things about this one, and I'm very intrigued. I don't know a lot. A true crime podcast host covering a controversial trial finds herself drawn deep into a small town's dark past and a brutal crime that took place there years before. I don't really want to read much more than that. I love going into my mystery thrillers knowing very little. I know a lot of people that have read this and loved it, and so that's what I picked for this prompt. Very excited to read this one as well. The last prompt is to read a book that takes place during the fall, which is such a hard prompt, y'all. I know. I had so many questions about this one. I had a hard time figuring out what to read, and I was gonna go with like Nature of Witches because I think that one very much like it's seasonal, and I think a lot of people are reading that one, but I really, really want to read this book, and I'm so glad that I can technically make it work for this prompt, but that is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. Everyone is reading this right now. Everyone is loving it. I just watched like Books and Lala, Kayla's video, and I know Gabby really loved it as well. I'm seeing it on Book Talk, like it's everywhere. I need to love this as much as everybody else does. I am due for like another really loved mystery thriller. I believe this is dual timeline. At least one of the chapters in this book at some point takes place during the fall, so I am counting it. All of the amazing books. I cannot wait to start reading. I'm so excited. One caveat I need to share is that I'm actually, the timing of all of this is a little rough for me just because I'm actually leaving tonight to go to an indoor water park with my family for the next like 2 days. I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done. I am going to try and read. And I also need to do the Instagram photo prompts, the daily photo prompts. So like I am in full participation mode, but I'm also very nervous. I plan to be fully present there and squeeze in as much reading as possible. But I just wanted to preface that a lot of my reading most likely be taking place after that trip. We will be heading there tonight after work, and then all day there tomorrow, so all day Friday, and then leaving on Saturday. So it's not the whole weekend, it's just a few days, which is good. And I also have Monday off. I was smart and took Monday off. So I do have all day Monday of this readathon to just read and catch up on any days that I missed for this trip. I also don't know how much I'm going to be vlogging while on the trip, so we may just jump to me being back home post-trip. I may plan to do B-roll there. I haven't really decided yet. I'm going to update you guys when I start reading some more. I'm just so excited. I can't stop like talking about it. I'm just so stoked. But I'm also just kind of like wasting time talking to y'all when I could finish the rest of my break starting one of these lovely books. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I will check in with y'all when I've read some stuff.
All alone again tonight, but you don't seem to forget about yourself. Wondering how it could go so wrong, but you didn't call for help. Let me tell you about the trees and the seas, how it's all connected. The flowers and the birds and bees, the northern lights, yeah, we're all affected. Watching, pray, 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 I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out.
Hello, it's been a minute, and by a minute I mean it's been a few days. Definitely did not vlog while on vacation with my family. I was going to, and I thought about it, and then I just didn't really want to. So it's actually Sunday. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is probably the slowest start I've ever had to a readathon. The way I typically like to approach week-long readathons is to just like crush it right out of the gate. Ideally, I love to finish one book on the very first day because it kind of sets the precedence for the rest of the week. I haven't finished a single book, y'all. It's day 4 of this readathon. That's so bad. Well, okay, let me catch you up. So I have started Hooky. Is it Hooky or Hooky? We were watching a show and someone said Hooky, like I'm playing Hooky or they're playing Hooky. Hooky? Now it's sounding weird. But I was like, wait, that's spelled the same as Hooky, my book. And then I was like, am I saying it wrong the whole time? And technically they missed the bus to school, so they're playing Hooky. So I think it's Hooky and not Hooky. But now I just don't know. Anyway, I did start this book. I am this far. So I have this much left to go. I was able to read this a little bit while on vacation. We did have a really, really good time. Like I said, we went to this hotel. We took the kids to the water park, obviously, hung out there, played board games, played card games, ate really good food. There was also a really cute used bookstore, so we went for a walk and went to the used bookstore, and I did get a couple books, which I will share in a second. I'll go grab those. I got a few books for my nieces, which was really fun, and a few books for myself, of course. But overall, it was just a really, really good time. The good news is that it's Sunday, and it's like 10:30, and I have all day, 0 plans, other than to read. Also, there's only 5 reading prompts, not 7. So I don't have like 7 books to read. I only have 5. We're good. We're gonna be on track. I'm gonna be here. It's gonna be great. I'm honestly though having so much fun being a co-host in this readathon because I'm seeing so many pictures and updates on Instagram, and it's just so much fun. You guys are seriously so creative with your photos, the way you use the templates that I created for Instagram. It's just so much fun to see you guys reading and doing something collectively, and I'm just really enjoying my time. Okay, let me really quick, since I'm already talking, share with you guys what I got at the used bookstore. Like I said, I got a bunch of other books for my nieces as well, but I got 3 for myself. 2 of those books are actually Frederick Bachman books, and here they are, A Man Called Uwe, and my grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. I have been recommended Frederick Bachman for a long time, and I've only read like one of his short Christmas novellas. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I've read it like the past 2 years because it's just a really great story and I love the writing. And friends have told me that I would love his stories, so I'm very, very excited. I know these are like 2 of, I think, some of his most popular. So the fact that I got them for like, I think they were each $6 was a steal, and they're like perfect condition. So I'm very excited about that. And then this book is so random, but for whatever reason, I was very, very drawn to it. I've never heard of this book before. It's called Elizabeth and Zenobia. And just like take a second and look at this cover. It's really cool. I just couldn't not get this book. And it says, The Walls of Withering House Hold Secrets. And it's by Jessica Miller. And then the back blurb, I'll just read that. It says, A lonely girl, a creepy house, spirit presences, and long ago mysteries. I'm completely in love with this novel, as someone that quoted it. It's so, I don't know, it's just so captivating. It's definitely a middle grade. Like, look at, it's kind of creepy for middle grade, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if like I would want my little niece reading this because it looks kind of creepy, but I'm like such a fan of kind of creepy middle grade. Like Coraline is one of my favorite stories. This is so, I don't know how I feel about that. It's so like frightening, but I really want to read it. So that's a fun little random book haul that I was able to do on the trip. I am going to go take a bath and just relax and peace and quiet, keep reading Hooky, and maybe start Goblin, maybe start another book. I'll let you know, but it's gonna be a very chill day and I'm very excited. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, good enough. Hi. Okay, it's been a few hours. I promise I have moved from the spot. But it's 3:30. Let's see, what have I done today? A lot of nothing. A lot of rest. It's been really, really good, I'm not gonna lie. I took like an hour-long bath, which is glorious, and I read Hooky, which I'm going with Hooky now because I'm realizing a theme of this book is how often they like miss school and miss their lessons. So it's got to be Hooky. That's what we're gonna go with for the rest of this vlog. I really, really like it. I think it's really fun, and if you are in any kind of reading slump, I always say a graphic novel, a manga, a comic is just the way to go because it's just so easy to get through and like flip through and just enjoy. I love in particular a lot of the side characters and just the relationships that they're building up. I also started the night swim and I'm loving it. I am really, really liking it. Everyone told me to listen to the audiobook, which I was gonna do anyway because I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I'm on chapter 21 of 55. It says that I have 6 hours and 19 minutes left. I've been listening on 2 times speed, so really that's like 3 hours. And I love it. It's so good. I'm sure a lot of you have read this one. I'm reading this for my backlist prompt. I wasn't planning on reading it at all when it very first came out. And then a lot of people just kept saying how really good it was and that I should read it. And so I am. You're right, I'm liking it. I'll give a really loose kind of recap of what's going on. We are following our main character. Her name is Rachel, and she has a podcast named Guilty or Not Guilty. And she's had 2 seasons so far. They've been very successful. Basically, like, she's helped solve, like, cold cases. She also helped, like, someone innocent go free. It's very, very popular. She's really, like, a household name at this point. We're following her, but we're also following an entirely other person. Her name is Hannah, and we learn early on, like in the first chapter, that her sister is murdered, or what she thinks happened is that her sister was murdered when she was 16 and when Hannah was like 10 years old or something like that. And so she has been reaching out to this podcast host, Rachel, to get her to cover her sister's story. And she hasn't. But now Rachel, in our present day, is covering a rape trial that happened in the same hometown of Hannah and Hannah's sister, where their whole thing happened like 25 years earlier, something like that. There's kind of like a lot of working pieces. We've got Hannah and her story with her sister. We've got Rachel and she's following this other trial, this current trial. And so they're kind of coinciding. Like, I don't think they're necessarily specifically linked as far as like one main person did all of these things, but I think there's like an overlap in themes of sort of what happened, especially what's happening in the town. There's a lot of commentary about just in general like sexual assault and victim blaming. It's just so intriguing. I forgot to mention one other piece is that the girl Hannah, whose sister earlier on 25 years ago was murdered, is leaving like notes for Rachel to find to get her to also become invested in Hannah's story as well as the trial that she is there for to cover. It's a lot. Like, if I was Rachel, I'd be overwhelmed. But it's so good. I love true crime like so much. I get into it really, really hard for like a good amount of time and then I have to take a break because I think when you spend too much time thinking about things that other humans can actually inflict on other humans, it just gets a little sad. I do really like true crime though a lot, and I'm loving this book so far. I feel like no matter how this goes, I will be satisfied, but I guess we'll see. I am going to keep listening. I think in a couple of hours I'm gonna order some sushi because I have been craving sushi for dinner. And I'm gonna keep listening because I can't stop. I just can't stop. I think I'm probably gonna play some Animal Crossing while I listen. And I feel like I am finally making progress on this readathon. It's only day 4, but... And I actually feel pretty confident that I might be able to finish the night swim before this day is done. So we'll see. Hello, it's 11:30 at night and I'm so sleepy. I'm losing my night owl edge. I used to be able to stay up so late, but I've been working really hard on a sleep schedule and getting a good amount of sleep that, man, making it past midnight seems impossible nowadays. Anyway, I wanted to catch y'all up before I go to bed, but I finished The Night Swim. I can't believe I finished it, like in a day. It was the easiest book to finish in a day. It was so entertaining. There were no chapters or parts that felt slow or dull or less entertaining. Like, I was thoroughly engrossed in this story the entire time, beginning to end. And I love that. I really, really liked this. I can't share much more than what I've already shared about it, but it is a really, really good like mystery, especially in regards to like following a true active crime case. It's just so good. And I usually don't like books like that. Like, when I hear about books taking place like in a courtroom or anything with that, it's not like my first choice to go with. I don't know if it changed my mind because a lot of it took place outside of the courtroom as well, but it did make me maybe like second guess, think about those books a little bit more, I guess. I feel much better. Day 4, finally finished my first book. I think overall I'll probably give this like a 4 out of 5 stars. Like, it wasn't one of my new favorites of all time, but I really, really liked it. I'll probably recommend it to like a whole bunch of people. Like, this would be good for, I think, seasoned readers and even like readers who are new to this genre. So yeah, this was a good one. I haven't read any more of Hooky because Andrew came home and we ended up watching 2 episodes of The Walking Dead. Yes, we are still watching The Walking Dead, by the way. But I did get a good amount further, so I have this much left. Tomorrow is Monday, and I am off tomorrow as well, off of work, which is exciting. I never have like a Monday off, so I am going to sleep in and read. I think I'm going to start the one book with the scissors on the cover, but there's knife in the title. I can't think of what it's called right now. But anyway, I think I'm going to start that one. I also need to run a couple errands tomorrow. We need to run to Target. That's always a good time. So yeah, it's going to be great. But for now, I'm going to go to bed because I'm tired. So good night. Good morning, y'all. It's Monday. It's 11 o'clock, so it's actually almost the afternoon. I'm a little bummed because I woke up this morning and I was immediately going to start listening to the audiobook for In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which is the book, the next like full-length book that I have to read for this readathon. And honestly, truthfully, the one I've been the most excited to read because everyone's reading it right now and everyone is really enjoying it. And then I realized that there's no audiobook available. I don't know how I missed that. I think I just assumed that there would be, and I have an Audible credit, so I was like, I'll just get it on Audible. It'll be no big deal. And I went to go search for it, and it's not available. Like, I don't know if they haven't made one yet or if they are even planning to. That really throws a kink in my plans. I still really want to read that book. I'm just bummed because I was not anticipating physically reading that book, especially now that I only have, what, 3 days left of the readathon. But I'm still gonna try. I'm still gonna try. So I think what I'm gonna do is divide however many pages there are of the book, divided by 3 over the next 3 days, and just each day have a goal of reading that many pages in order to finish the book. I also have to finish Hooky, some of Goblin, The Seance Tea Party, which I haven't even started. These next 3 days are going to be real interesting. And y'all are probably like, but Zoe, you have an entire day off today. Like, literally just read all day, which, yes, I could do that. But also, I really, really want to go to the stores and see if there's any Christmas stuff out yet. I know, I'm that crazy Christmas lady. Like, I love Christmas. My brain is already moving past spooky season and Halloween hasn't even happened yet. I think I'm going to utilize my day off to go to some stores. I also do have to go to Target and get a few things, so all of those stores are just in the same area. It just makes sense to take a peek in. I am going to start listening to a little bit of Goblin because I do have that audiobook. Hopefully get that completed while I'm kind of getting ready, while I'm driving to the stores and all that stuff. I am going to read a little bit more of Hooky as well as In My Dreams I Hold a Knife in order to complete the goal that I need. Let's just see how many pages I need to read every day for the next 3 days in order to finish this book. 368 pages is what Goodreads says. That means I need to read 122 pages every day. I read about 50 pages in an hour. So really I only have to spend like 2.5 hours of my day each day reading this book. Cool. All right, so that's the plan. I am going to go finish getting ready, go shopping for a bit, and then I will come back home, start reading that book, and check in with you guys a little later. And if I get anything fun, of course, I will show you what I pick up. It's 3:57, so it's basically 4 o'clock now. Do you ever just go shopping and have a more successful day than even you were anticipating? Because I got so much stuff. Oh my word. I know I promised you guys to show you what I got, but I realized that I got enough stuff to do an entire separate like haul video, Christmas decor video, and I really want to do that. So I'm so sorry for misleading you, but I was not anticipating finding as much as I did at all. Like I was thinking like 5 things maybe, but I found a lot more than 5. And I just think that it would be fun to do an entire separate video. And then also that way this vlog won't take 10 million years. I had some restraint, okay? I wasn't crazy, but I was very selective, and a lot of this stuff this year is just so much fun and so up my alley for Christmas things. And like last year we hosted Christmas, and I'm really hoping that we can host again this year, but even if we can't, I would love to have some kind of Christmas party because I love hosting. I love it. But I also want to create like a magical Christmassy wonderland in my house. So anyway, I got some really, really cute things. Some throw pillows, a cute blanket, some like wall hangings, some gift wrapped stuff, some signage, just a little bit of everything. And I will definitely be showing you guys in an upcoming video. So if you're interested in like home decor, Christmas home decor specifically, watch out for that because I will be doing one of those very shortly, honestly. And you could say that sweater weather also includes Christmas because you wear sweaters around that same time. So honestly, I'm really still within the theme of this readathon. Overall, good day. I really need to read like really badly. So I am going to start reading In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I'm gonna read 50 pages and then I will check in with you guys and tell you my thoughts. It is 11:30 at night. I did not keep my promise and I did not check in after the 50-page mark. I promise I was going to, and then Andrew came home. We ended up just like talking for a little bit and eating dinner and then watching our show, and then the next thing you know, it's super late and he also was drumming, so then I couldn't film. So anyway, I'm here. That's all that matters, right? I got to page 115. Be so proud of me. I'm proud of me. I actually am really enjoying my time reading this book. I have to say, I've really struggled the last year, really since the pandemic, to physically read books. Like I rarely physically read anymore. I just feel like my mind is all over the place, and when I can listen to an audiobook and kind of do something while I'm listening, I just feel like I can concentrate so much better. Tell me in the comments below if you like physically reading or listening to audiobooks more, but it's like I can barely remember a time where all I did was physically read books. And it was rare for me to listen to an audiobook because it's definitely flip-flopped, and now I just listen to books all the time and I love it. But anyway, I've been enjoying my time reading this, like physically. It's been nice. I made myself like a cup of tea and read about 60 more pages, and yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not loving it, like I'm not like amazed by it, but I am enjoying it. So far, we're following our main character, Jessica, who is one of like 7 or 8 other people, friends that all met in college. They went to Duquesne University. They kind of became like known on campus as like the famous seven or something like that. I think they were all part of sort of different sorority and fraternity houses, and because the timeline is dual timeline, so we get a now perspective and a then perspective, we're getting to see kind of how their friendship evolved over the 4 years at that university and some of the different relationships that took place and the secrets that took place. And we're all kind of seeing it through this main character, Jessica's lens. In present time, she was right away in the beginning of the book invited to Duquesne University's homecoming, which I think was 10 years after they all graduated. And all of her friends were invited as well. The biggest thing to note is that one of the friends was murdered her senior year of college. So one of the group's friends was murdered. They thought it was one person, but turns out it wasn't one of the friends. Now, the girl who was killed, her brother is like the chairman person that put together this whole homecoming thing, and now he's kind of all got the friends in this one place, and they're discussing his sister's murder, and he is saying that he knows for sure that one of the friends did it. Each person has a very like distinct personality, a distinct role to play. It's entertaining, it's very intriguing. The writing is really, really good. The pacing is great, the prose is great. Like, I'm just really enjoying my time reading this. I don't really have many complaints. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I did want to mention that I also listened to a bit of Goblin today. I got this on audiobook, listened to the prologue, which was very intriguing, and then I also started listening to a good portion of the first story. I think I mentioned this in my intro, but Goblin is a novel in 6 novellas. So there's 6 different stories that make up this one novel, and they all take place, I believe, in the town of Goblin. First story, or like the first prologue, was very, or the prologue I guess I should say, was very interesting. It was about this like driver who made deliveries late at night, and he was hired to do this very specific delivery of this like crate, and he had to deliver it between midnight and 12:30. Any later and he wasn't able to deliver it, then he would have to destroy it. He was also given very specific instructions not to open it or do anything else with it. Something started like moving in the crate, and it was weird and creepy. I liked it though. It was very mysterious. And then the first story is taking place once again in the town of Goblin, and it's following 2 boy best friends that meet when they're children, and then the one boy is kind of developing an obsession with like death. It's very weird and eerie. This is definitely horror. I don't know what to think. I'm not hating it. It is reminding me a lot of A House at the Bottom of a Lake. Just the way Josh Malerman kind of tells his stories. It's very sort of slow burn. I feel like I'm like tiptoeing when I read his books, because I'm kind of like, okay, but I know there's something coming. Like, you just know there's something coming, which is kind of fun. So yeah, started listening to this. Have not finished that first story yet, but I'm glad that I at least got started. I do have work tomorrow. That's going to take up a really good portion of my day, and Tuesdays are typically my busiest days of the week. I have so many meetings on Tuesdays. So you may not hear from me for a while, but I will try and check in, especially when I have more to talk to y'all about when it comes to reading. But for now, I'm gonna go to bed. So good night. Hello, it's Tuesday and it's like 4 o'clock. I'm tired. I think I was talking about how yesterday that Tuesdays are my most heavy meeting days, and I have had meetings from 10 until 3 today. So I am very tired. I accomplished like one thing off of my to-do list, other than of course going to all those meetings. So I just, whew, it was a rough one, y'all, but we made it. I can't believe that this is the first time I'm updating you guys. I also haven't taken a picture yet for the photo prompt today, and I'm kind of freaking out because I don't know what to do. The prompt is home decor, so whatever your interpretation of that is. I'm tired. I'm pretty talked out, to be honest. So I don't know how much I'll be checking in or chatting today, but it's the second to last day of the readathon and I have read one book. I'm feeling the pressure, you guys. I'm feeling it. I need to finish something today. I don't know what that's gonna be because I still need to read Hooky, Sans Tea Party, finish a novella in Goblin, and finish In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. And I need to read 100 pages physically of that as well. So panic mode is setting in. I think what I'm gonna do, because Andrew's not home yet, I'm going to walk and I think I'm gonna listen to Goblin and hopefully I can finish a novella and then I'll feel like somewhat accomplished. That'll be like sort of book number 2 off my list. Is this tilted? Have I been talking like slightly to the side the whole time? No, I'm just getting distracted by things that don't matter. So with that said, I'm gonna read. I will check in when I have more to say. I finished a novella in this novel of novellas and it was interesting. It was called Man in Slices. So if that says anything. I'll just read you the very small blurb that sums it up nicely in the little dust jacket here. It says, a man in slices. A man proves his legendary love to his girlfriend with a sacrifice even more daring than Vincent van Gogh's and sends her more than his heart. I will say, I think I actually really do want to read some more of these. I'm just fascinated by the way Josh Malerman writes. I would say you need to go into at least this book and probably his other books, I would assume, knowing that there's very much like a semblance of literary themes. He definitely takes his time when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to unraveling what he's trying to convey, but it's always, in my opinion, anything I've read by Josh Malerman, it's always worth it in the end. Like, he's setting up the reader for the reason of the story, which in my opinion, it is a great, makes a really great author, and I don't hate it. You just have to have patience for what he's trying to create before you. So I don't feel like his writing is necessarily for everybody, and I don't think that everyone would like this book in particular, but I kind of love that type of writing, especially I haven't read a lot of horror books, so I'm not someone who like knows that genre well by any means, but I personally kind of like it because it's not like this in-your-face like gory horror. It's much more like, okay, you're getting the backstory and you're getting like little tiny glimpses into feelings of uneasiness. And then in the end, it kind of all unravels. It kind of honestly reminds me a little bit of Stephen King. I don't know if that's fair, but I don't know. His writing reminds me of Stephen King for some reason. But yeah, overall, I liked it. I don't know if I would rate it anything. Should I rate it anything? I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And it's just a novella. I would say, like, in comparison to my favorite short story by him, which was The House at the Bottom of the Lake, it's probably like a 3, maybe 2.5. Like, it wasn't bad. It just, like, I don't think I would ever read it again, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, sorry if you can hear the traffic, the obnoxious traffic. So now I'm gonna get back to reading In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I have to read 100 pages at least tonight. Whew. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Hello, it's currently 4 o'clock on Wednesday and it is the official last day of the Sweater Weather Readathon. And I'm freaking out. I didn't check in yesterday because it got kind of late and I was exhausted. I read until about 11:30 and I just was too tired to talk, to be quite honest. Also, I realized that I wore the same shirt 2 days in a row. I wore my Sweater Weather Readathon sweatshirt 2 days in a row, and I didn't even like say it, and y'all probably are like, Zoe, you're wearing the same shirt. But it was just so comfortable and I wasn't going anywhere, and I just totally had to out myself on that one. But I did read what I needed to. I didn't finish it. I did read what I needed to, and I am officially this far. So I have this much left to go in My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I'm still really enjoying this book. My expectations were high, I'm not gonna lie, and it's not my fault because everyone loves this book. Like, how was I not gonna have high expectations for it? It's good. It's just, it's keeping my attention. I'm physically reading it, so it's like, it's a good thing that it's keeping my attention. I feel like, side note, if there is no audiobook available, that like this one would be awesome with a full cast. I'm enjoying it. I'm not like amazed by it. It's not necessarily doing anything like totally new, but I'm enjoying the pacing and the dual timeline. When it goes in the past, it's kind of going like all over the place. Like, it's not just chronologically the past. It's like, and we're in freshman year, now we're in a moment in senior year, now we're in a moment in sophomore year, and it's kind of like showing and setting the stage for the reasons why things are the way that they are in the present. I don't know if anyone else has said this, but it's very much giving me like dark Gossip Girl kind of vibes with like the friendships and stuff, and I love Gossip Girl, so I'm not mad about it. I did read a handful more of Hooky. Oh my gosh, I feel like this book is never gonna end. It's just starting to feel like one of those books. I have this much left of it. I'm so sad that it's already the end of the readathon. I'm already like brainstorming like a Christmas readathon, maybe, possibly. I don't know. If you're interested, let me know in the comments, but I feel like that could be kind of fun because I have had the most fun during this readathon that I think I've ever had in any other readathon. I don't know what it is about this one, but it just was my jam. With that said, I still have 3 more books to read, so we'll see if it's still my jam after that. I also have to do the final photo prompt of the day, which is a pumpkin. It's just the word pumpkin, and I have no idea what to do. I'm gonna go and try and figure that out too. I'll probably check in, hopefully, once I have read all of these books. It's all done. It's officially over. The Sweater Weather Readathon first year, 2021. It's all over, and I'm so sad. Now, I will be honest, it is not actually the last day. It's a couple days after the last day. I'm not gonna like try and trick y'all. I actually got kind of sick. Like, the last night I pushed really hard to finish all of my books, which I did, by the way, and I will definitely get to there. But by the end of the night, I was feeling so ill. I don't know if you can actually hear it, but I've just had this like weird cold congestion, just like, oh, not feeling the best. So it's a couple days later. It is Friday night following the readathon, but I did finish. I promise. I did not take any extra time, and I finished all the books within the time frame. So here are all of the books that I read. I am feeling very good about this. I have not been reading that much this year, not nearly as much as I have in the previous years, and so any opportunity that I get to do a readathon, or even just like a weekend readathon or a 24-hour readathon, this year in particular has been a lot of fun. But I wanted to talk about the 3 books that I needed to finish, which was Hooky, The Seance Tea Party, and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. So I'll start with the 2 graphic novels because those will be easier to talk about. I enjoyed Hooky. Not much has changed like as far as when I last talked about it. I thought it was really cute. I liked the art style a lot. It was very easy to like get into the story and hop back out and take a break. I feel like the halfway point, I just started feeling less invested in the characters. I do feel like that was partly though because I was sort of rushing, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not sure if my opinion of this book is totally like unbiased or valid. Well, I mean, every opinion is valid, but you know what I mean. But I will say I did enjoy it. It just felt really long, which it is. So I think overall I would probably give this one a 3-star for me personally. But if you love a good manga, graphic novel, witchy stories, you would really, really like this one, and I do recommend it. And then Seance Tea Party. I loved the story. I loved the art style. Oh my word, it's so beautiful. There was one picture at the beginning that I really want to find because it's just so cute. Oh, it's right here. I don't know if this is a good view, but like, look at how cute they are. And then even on the next page, Like literally the next page, she has like these little kind of like imaginary creatures that follow her. And like, it's just so stinking cute. I loved it. It honestly made the story for me. I loved the story as well, and I thought it was a really interesting story. It felt like an original story, like it felt really fresh. It's kind of a coming of age story. All of her friends are sort of growing up around her. She really wants to keep doing like imagining things and creating things, and she doesn't want to be like sucked into like social media yet and stuff like that. And it kind of reminded me of me a little bit because I loved being a kid. It made me think about when all of my friends were growing up and, you know, boys were the topic of everything, and going out to the movies and going out to the mall was like the cool thing, and it was no longer just like having sleepovers, eating junk food, and like playing board games. It felt very nostalgic but very fresh and current at the same time, and overall I gave this one 5 stars. I really, really loved it. And then the final book. I read it physically, so I'm extra proud of myself. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. I finished this sucker and I did really like it. Overall, I really enjoyed it, and I don't have many, if at all, like negative things to say about it. I think if anything, what happened was I did have pretty high expectations for this one going into it, and I knew that, and I also still know it, but it just didn't stop me from still having high expectations. Like, how do you change your expectations once they're high? You know what I mean? So I did like it. Overall, I'm gonna give it like a 4 star. I honestly feel like I may forget this story after a while. Like, I genuinely enjoyed The Night Swim more than In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I don't know if that's because I listened to this on audiobook. I don't know if it's because I had felt like a time crunch on this one. I'm not quite sure. I still really liked it. I'm just really surprised that I liked The Night Swim more. I was not expecting to enjoy The Night Swim nearly as much, but I did also like this one. I would say the things that stand out to me in this book were like the alternate timelines, some different perspectives. I really liked the cast of characters, the group of characters. I think I said it earlier, but dark Gossip Girl vibes all the way, which I was totally down for. I thought that the reveal at the end was well done. It wasn't the most shocking thing ever, but I don't need something shocking. Like, it doesn't have to be shocking in order to be good. If it's well revealed, in my opinion, that makes it good. And I do think that this was interesting, and while not the most shocking thing ever, and even kind of the multiple twists at the end, like, they made sense, and I thought it was revealed well, if that makes sense. I also thought this was just written really well. For somebody who doesn't physically read a lot of books right now in her life, I was really invested, and honestly, reading this in 3 days was actually fairly easy. I really enjoyed this one too. Overall, I had a pretty awesome readathon. Like, I liked every book that I read. I didn't hate anything. I think if I had to pick a least favorite, it probably would be the story that I read from Goblin. And I'm not sure if that's like a fair assessment of the whole book because I only read one novella. So I do want to keep reading this, and hopefully maybe I'll like it even more as like a holistic book and not just from one of the individual novellas within the novel. With that said, this was a fairly long wrap up. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in this readathon. Y'all made this so incredibly special. I've participated in a couple of readathons, and I've helped host a couple of readathons, and this one by far has been just absolutely one of my favorites. So memorable, so much fun, and like encouraging participation, seeing all of your posts on Instagram, getting your DMs, just talking with you guys, seeing people do reading sprints. Like, it was so enjoyable. I loved it so much. And if you had a great time as well, please let me know in the comments below. Also want to give a huge shout out to Liv and Abigail as well, the co-hosts of this readathon. Once again, their channels will be linked down below as well. Thank you both so much for helping host this readathon. It was so much fun. I definitely am already in the mood and already dreaming up ideas for a possible Christmas type readathon, so stay tuned for that. Possibly I'm gonna brainstorm and we'll see what happens, but I just enjoyed this one so much that I'm like already ready for another one, so who knows, be on the lookout for that. Alrighty y'all, I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!
I know I let you down, I made the same mistake. I am the